I'm all over the place. But spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ghost River, we have our Polish Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing... Oh, sorry, my apologies. Representing Storm Gaming. Ooh, from land of Poland, it is Gerald. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the red Terran representing Little Fairy. It is KeeN. Let's go. But yes, if you're in the chat, predictions are open, so you can place your bets on who you believe is going to advance onto the grand finals. Will it be our Protoss or our Terran? It is going to be up to you to decide. Up to you, puppy. Up to you to place your bets, to place those channel points on the line. Best of luck. Five minutes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Sorry, I'm just posting in the chat. The predictions are open. Predictions. Whatever happened to Armani? Armani officially retired. For those that are curious, Armani, I believe he posted on Instagram. Armani did officially retire. I want to say end of last year. There is an Instagram post where he did officially retire. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But if you follow Armani on Instagram, he has been working out a lot. He's been in that gym. He's looking good, looking fine, Bob. Oh my god, Este Armani. So you see our first L moving out across the map. It is going to be a rack to span setup here from KeeN, so a much more economic opener this time from our Terran player. Going for a rack to expand into that factory. Meanwhile, Gerald going for his own opener as well. Everything looking normal. We're going for our tech of choice, and we have our tech. It is not a Stargate. It's going to be a Twilight Council opener from our Protoss player. Let's go. Twilight Council's on the way. We have a proxy being set up from Geralt as well. Do love to see it. Proxy towards the south. Adept does shade in. As we get a full scout of the main base, just making sure that there is no second racks, for example, or third racks. It is going to be a straight up 1-1-1 from the side of the Terran. No early buyer production or early sim timing available from KeeN. And with that proxy, my apologies, I assumed it was going to be a Twilight Council Blink-based opener, but no, it's going to be a Dark Shrine. We spoke about this yesterday, actually, about how DT openers have been a little more commonplace nowadays against Terran. It has been a lot more trendy to go for DTs these past couple of months. And here it is again. Dark Templar on the way. Geralt shading across the map. Chasing down those Hellions. KeeN skirting around, trying to escape those Adepts. And in doing so, it looks like he will come across the... Oh my god! He does come across the proxy. The Dark Shrine has been spotted, has been scouted. Big moment here for KeeN. He knows. Knows, he is aware. Back at home, should be setting up. There we go, eBay's on the way for turrets. Scan's gonna be banking up as well. And Geralt is already working on his blink. Geralt, he's aware, he's been scouted, he knows. So he shouldn't be investing too hard into those Dark Templar. You know, KeeN moving out. Doesn't quite get the Adept. Getting on top of the gateway though. Shield battery is not done. Uh-oh. And Geralt doesn't really have much to work with. Yeah, Pylon gets focused down. We deny the warp in. Stalker gets shut down at the same time across the map, but Depth shades in. We get two SCVs. But only two. And KeeN is snowballing out of control again, punishing this DT opener. There's no blink. There's few Stalkers. Another warp in coming in. KeeN just get the hell out of there, jumping into the main from the natural, focusing down a lot of probes. 4 workers go down. Good control from Gerald. Does pull back, does preserve his Stalkers. Oof. Does bleed out one. Finally gets a Cyclone, and finally Gerald is going to clean this up. But this has done well here for KeeN. Getting 4 probes, getting the pylon, the Stalkers. And the Dark Templar, we didn't get to make use of them at all. No Dark Templar. KeeN even going for a safety Raven as well. Does have the Raven, does check, making sure that the Dark Shrine was all cancelled. Is aware that it finished. Tars are finishing up. And likewise, Gerald at least has Blink now. Blink is done. We're going for a third base. It's going to be 2-gate Blink into a third. We have a bit of a Gateway explosion behind this. We're towards a Gateway-focused army. Charge, Templar Archives, Archon's going to be on the way as well. So Geralt is going to be working with Chargel Archon Storm instead of Colossus. No Colossi from Geralt. Trying to contain his opponents, and KeeN is soon going to be expanding. Once the orbital does finish, we can soon land and fight for control of that third base location. Adept does shade in. And I believe we did get a full scout. Yeah, we did get eyes on the third CC, on the stim, and on the production setup as well. Scan reveals the third. KeeN taking his own. And KeeN is just breaking out from his contain. Taking his third base, catches a Stalker. Has to be very careful. Doesn't bleed out too much. Has to pull back. There's that Storm that we spoke about on the way. Storm is very high risk, high reward. Like, Storms can be amazing, or depending on the positioning, depending on the EMPs, for example, Storms may not be as reliable. Also depends on KeeN's ability to respond, to split his army, to avoid the Storms. There is a lot of back and forth that does take place. You can see KeeN moving out, trying to shut down this proxy location. We'll get the pylon, who'll get the Dark Shrine. Gerald trying to catch reinforcements. Doesn't find anything. The gateway will fall. Now he does manage to, barely get a Marauder. Not bad. Gets a Marauder. Fourth base is on the way. Again, we're just kind of calming things down here. KeeN just waiting for his third base to fully get up and running before pushing out. And here we go. Here comes that push. Now, what do we have? We have 3 tanks. We have a Liberator. We have that Raven. Disable was not researched, so we don't have Matrix. We are pushing it nonetheless. Storm is done. That's a lot of Storms. Going for the feedback. And a big Storm here on the tanks. Oh my god. And massive Storms on the army. And Gerald, he's shutting this down. Takes down the tanks. Takes down the Raven. KeeN has to pull back. Some mine shots. KeeN does have a pretty terrifying bio army. We have to respect it. We catch another tank. Another Storm as well. On the bio. And Gerald, he's going to keep pushing. He smells blood in the water. He wants to go for the kill. Reinforcements on the way. KeeN still has a lot of fire, but we have one Storm. There it goes. It gets spent here on the left-hand side. Takes down a lot of Marines. Marines go down. Boys are being pulled. KeeN, he barely does hold on. And we're out of Storms. We need to get the hell out of here. And Gerald, he has to retreat. Only Zealots and Stalkers. Does warp an extra wave of High Templar, but they need time. These High Templar, they are not ready with Storms. They need more time. As Gerald takes another base, takes a 5th. The mass expanding here by Gerald, it's crazy. It's impressive. It's crazy and impressive here. But KeeN is looking to punish it. Going for a double drop. Charges are amassing, second Robo's on the way, and we are finally diversifying our splash damage. No more do we rely on only Storm, now we have Colossus. Colossus and Storm coming together at the same time. KeeN going into EMP, is going to his Ghost. EMP does not connect with the High Templar. Oh, good mine shots though. Very good mine connections on those Zealots. The drop towards the south, still not committing. Zealots doing what they can. Storm, exerting away the army. Gets a Widow Mine. KeeN, his macro behind this is pretty intense. As the Ghost almost goes down. You can see though, KeeN, he is gaining ground here. And where is the Colossus, by the way? Drop hits the 5th base. 5th is going to go down. Yeah, there's no saving it. Gerald trying to take a center base instead. Very exposed. Vikings have amassed. Storm drop coming in. The Prism! No! Prism goes down. High Templar is all massive pick off. And that was every High Templar, by the way. 0 High Templar left. 0 Storms. That was a brutal pick off. The center base was denied, and now we have to rely on Colossus. There's only 1. Oh, I say that 2 more just popped out. They're on the way. Colossi on the way. They do get EMP'd. And KeeN, he goes for the dive. 1 Colossus falls, the other as well. And KeeN, he might just have too much. Okay, he's trying to break through. He's going for the Colossus and he will snipe it. Does go down. And there's nothing left here. GG gets called. 1G. 1G. As KeeN overwhelms and takes Gerald down in game number 1. GG. GG, well played. KeeN was on the back foot initially, but was able to catch the tech, was able to catch the Dark Shrine, made sure that the DTs weren't really a factor in that game whatsoever, was able to do a lot of damage with his drop across the map. I do like how aggressively Gerald was expanding. Like, he got away with a lot of bases. He got away with his 4th, he almost got away with his 5th base. It was a pretty pivotal moment when Gerald lost his High Templar though. That was a massive moment where 4 High Templar went down almost for free there. They got like 1 Storm off, and again, that was not quite enough. That was a big moment. As soon as those High Templar went down, Gerald was on the back foot. He could not really fight for his 5th base. He could not really push away from his 4 base setup. And he was caught out before he could really bring all of his Colossi together. Remember, he had 2 Colossi on the right-hand side, 1 towards the left. Like, they were split up, they were exposed. Those first 2 Colossi, they went down almost instantly, as there was nothing to support them. And that was game then and there. There's no Storm, and if we lose 2 Colossus, I mean, what do we have left? Nothing left. We had nothing left, and here we go. We're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our Polish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Storm Gaming. Down in this series, looking to bounce back here in game 2, it is Gerald. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Little Fairy, leading the series 1-0. It is KeeN. Again, KeeN's macro was insane in that game as well. Like, props to KeeN, even though he was taking some Storms to the face, even though he was denied his 4th base and his 3rd was delayed, he was able to break through, trade efficiently enough, catch the army out of position on multiple occasions there, and yeah, very impressive stuff. Very impressive stuff there from the side of KeeN. Here we go, we're settling into game 2. Once again, 1 gas opener here from KeeN, so he's going for a faster CC on the low ground. Gerald going for a scout across the map. Trying to get a read on what is going on, making sure that he doesn't get cheesed out. Again, especially against a Korean Terran player like KeeN, he is not above going for proxy Raxes, so Gerald has to make sure. Have to make sure he's okay, as he does confirm the positioning here at the location of the racks. KeeN moving out with an SCV. Okay. I was like, where are we going? He's checking for a proxy gateway. at his third base and here at the center of the map. So KeeN likewise being very safe. Very safe movement there from KeeN. Making sure he doesn't get cheesed out. Probe goes down, CC's on the way, followed by the factory. And Gerald's back at home. I imagine this time is not going for Dark Templar. Again, the DTs did nothing last game as there were no Dark Templar, so I'm picturing either a Blink-based opener or maybe even a Stargate. We shall see. Adept zoning that Reaper away. Doesn't quite get it. Does manage to zip away. Meanwhile, across the map, the Zealot does delay the CC. Not bad. CC is going to be delayed. And there it is. Twilight Council gets thrown down. This time it should be Blink. The question becomes, how many gateways? Is this going to be 2-gate Blink, 3-gate Blink, or 4-gate Blink instead? Depending on how many gateways, that will dictate how aggressive Gerald plans on being. Once Reaper gets one probe kill, is going to get a second probe as well. And 2 probes go down. Meanwhile, Gerald across the map trying to break through that reactor. We'll get an SCV. Marines have arrived, trying to hold on. The reactor getting so low. Oh my god. Reactor getting very low. The Cyclone has arrived. Adepts, they force the Cyclone back. KeeN does hold. There's that Blink on the way, as we mentioned. But we're still trying to piece together how aggressive Gerald wants to be. As the Adepts are hunted down. Not quite. The Adepts, they turn the tables here on the Cyclone. Marines, they come in to reinforce. Get a pretty intense back and forth, and we can see that Gerald is going for interesting, quite greedy. He went for a single gate expand, a single gateway to a 3rd nexus, followed by a 2nd and 3rd gateway. So very greedy stuff here from Gerald. Triple nexus into 3-gate Blink. Still being active with a handful of units. And we'll see if Gerald can get away with this greed, with this faster 3rd. As KeeN is just getting into his own. Okay. So we're working towards the mid game. KeeN working on a 3rd base. Likewise, so is Gerald. KeeN is pushing through the center though with a handful of units. We have 2 Cyclones, a handful of Marines. Bearing in mind that there's no stim. There's no stim, there's no combat shields. These are vanilla Marines. But we can still threaten that 3rd base. And Medevac tanks a couple of shots. Cyclones, they get a lock on. They don't quite get a Stalker. And these Cyclones getting quite low. Yeah, with the help of the shield battery, with the help of the overcharge, we are perfectly safe and sound. And we are just shutting KeeN down. Big overextension by the Terran. We bleed out a Medevac, 2 Cyclones, a good chunk of Marines. And can we even chase down the final Cyclone? Show us the Blink. Up. Up. Oh, till we get it. We can. Ooh, it barely goes down as well. Very nice cleanup here by Gerald. KeeN losing everything. We have a bunker back at home. If we had high ground vision, we could just dive into the main. Speaking of, KeeN is getting ready for that. There we go. Tank of the main base. Liberator harassed across the map. KeeN loses all map control. We control here out of Gerald. Forces the unsiege. E-base are on the way. Liberator pinned outside the natural. Gerald's reinforcing. How many gateways do we have behind this? Again, still only 3 gateways, but he now has high ground vision with that Warp Prism. We could try to dive in, but this is a better defensive setup here for KeeN. He's got 2 tanks, got a good chunk of Marines, Raven as well. Yeah, tank volley's going to be going up. Ooh, big tank shots here on the Stalkers. Yeah, this was not the play for Gerald. Oh. Calm down. The Prism getting a little bit ambitious there. Gerald has to pull back. Behind this, Gerald going for double forge, double upgrades. Bay is on the way. Oh, Bay is done. Extend the Lance. Colossus production has commenced. Going for a 6-gate setup on 3 bases. Gerald looking solid behind this. And again, his 3rd base wasn't really punished too much at all. That has allowed him to get into his Colossi. More gateways being thrown down as well. And KeeN is stuck at home, especially with the failed push from KeeN. He's just contained and stuck at home. We blink into the natural. Getting a couple of SCVs. Punishing KeeN once again. Prism into the main. Zealot drop does come in. Can we get the tank? Oh, it's going to be close. We barely do not. Tank survives. We got 5 SCVs warping towards the 3rd base, but we take down the Warp Prism. Whew. Clutch defense there by KeeN. KeeN, he still lost a lot of SCVs, that is true, but at least he gets a Warp Prism. So KeeN, his mind can rest easy here for at least a couple of minutes. As Gerald, he backs off, taking a 4th. Now, what I will say is that this 4th base is late. Like, Gerald, he got a fast 3rd, true. So did KeeN, and again, this 4th base is only thrown down after the aggression gets stopped. Could have seen it sooner. KeeN moving out, heading towards that 3rd. Sorry, towards the 4th. Is spotted. Gerald coming in from behind, repositioning with his Colossus. Yeah, Gerald, he does get here in time. Blue mines are shut down. And Gerald does hold. Now, at least this time, KeeN has confirmed the Colossus, so he knows that there's no Storm. There's no Storm, there's no Archons. Viking is going to be that much more important. Ghost a little bit less so compared to the previous game. And KeeN going for some multi-prong aggression here. We're shutting down the pylon. We're going for a double drop towards the natural. At the same time, double drop towards the 4th base. Scan reveals the army. Drop is coming in, but Gerald, he does have an army in position as well. He's ready for this. He's ready at the 4th. What about the 3rd? What about the main? The drop is attempting to slip in. Gerald, he gets a couple of free shots off. Oh my god. Almost gets the medevac. Getting so low. And we have a Stargate on the way. We've seen this from Gerald before as the drop comes in. Zealots, they force the siege. Or they force the pickup. Liberator goes down. Oh, good snipe there from Gerald. Takes down the medevac before it could unload everything. And Gerald, he's shutting this down. KeeN in a bit of trouble here. Again, we've been bleeding out a lot of units in this harass. Behind this, KeeN working on his Vikings, working on his Ghosts. Gerald has map control. He pushes out. There, this 4th base, it's not going to finish. It's not going to happen. I say that KeeN is forced out into the open. Gerald coming in from behind. He sees the tanks. They're on siege. Yeah, we're diving in. The tanks late to siege. We can focus them down one after the other. The Zealots, they snowball out of control, and Gerald, he catches the army. Yeah, KeeN, there's no way out of this. Does get some disables off. He's coming in from behind, but there's too much Protoss. That's a kill and a cancel on the CC. GG gets called, and Gerald fights back, tying up the series 1-1, forcing the ace match. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Gerald, in a much more even back and forth, is able to get into the mid game in a very nice position, winding it back. Remember, Gerald, he went for a more greedy build this time. In game 1, Gerald was hyper aggressive. Remember, he went for DTs. He went for a proxy Dark Templar, which kind of fell on its face, so Gerald had a rough start. Here in game 2, We just rush into greed. KeeN wasn't too aggressive himself. Gerald got away with his third base. He punished the push of KeeN. If you remember, KeeN moved out with Cyclone Marine to try to get on top of the third, but he got shut down. So Gerald had a very strong start to this game, and with that strong start was able to have an even stronger mid-game. On top of that, it was also KeeN that was, again, bleeding out a lot of units. He bled out a lot of Marines, a lot of Marauders, a lot of drop play in general. Didn't quite pay off. And it did allow Gerald to get into the swing of things, to move into his push. And a very fortunate moment as well, where he was able to catch the army. I say fortunate moment, he had an observer over the army at the 4th base. So he saw the move out, he saw the tanks, he pounced. GG, well played. And now we find ourselves in the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amphion, we have our blue Protoss player representing Storm Gaming, tying up the series 1-1, forcing the ace match. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Little Fairy. It is KeeN. Go. And I can already tell, especially because our games, I mean, they've been amazing, they've been a little bit longer. WTL tonight, it's going to run late. It's World Team League, I believe, is starting in 30 minutes, and there's no shot that we wrap up this tournament in 30 minutes. It's not going to happen. So WTL is going to be delayed on our stream. We're going to be casting and finishing Sparkling Tuna Cup first, and then we'll be going over WTL afterwards, just as a heads up. As a reminder, as we're settling into game 3, Probe Scout moving out across the map. Once again, single gas opener out of KeeN, going for a Rax expand. It's been the same opener so far every game from KeeN. This time going for a reactor first. Interesting. Going for a delayed Reapers, even delayed Marines. Gerald going for a Zealot. Trying to disrupt the opener here of KeeN. And I believe Gerald, he saw the reactor. No, he did not go off the ramp. Gerald hasn't seen much here. Zealot is moving out. Reactor is now done. And we opted to go for, reactor to Marine production back at home. That Pro being such a nuisance here, going for the CC. Forcing down a second worker. And the CC is going to be delayed. The Zealots are rocking up the ramp. Going for that worker, going for that SCV. Marines, they have arrived though. They have made it. And they're going to be able to kite back against the Zealot, but in saying so, there we go. We have a 3rd and 4th Marine arriving. We can expand. Oh my god, KeeN! Going for a 3rd CC before factory. That is a very greedy build here from KeeN. A very fast 3rd base from our Korean Terran. Ay. That's I was not expecting. With stutter stepping, we focus down the Adept. But yeah, KeeN, Papi, calm down. So he didn't just go for a Rax expand into Reactor, into no Reaper. Again, because of this, KeeN hasn't seen anything. KeeN, no SCV Scout, no Reaper Scout, no nothing. He's in the dark, and he's just being as greedy as he can be. Going for a 3CC into a 2-1-1 setup. Delayed starport. I mean, again, because we don't really have the gas for it. No reason to rush into a starport with this build. Meanwhile, Gerald back at home, going for a Twilight Council opener. This should be for Blink. There we go. Blink is on the way. Gateways are finishing up. Adept does shade in the ramp. Does shade up the ramp. And we do focus on the Marines, but there are 4 more Marines on the way. Good target firing at a Gerald. Does trade well, taking down 4 Marines for 1 Adept and 1 Zealot. So KeeN in a little bit of trouble, also opting not to throw down a bunker either. No bunker from KeeN. Well, Adept does shade. Adept goes down. Cyclone shuts down the Stalker as well. Good cleanup by KeeN. Does hold on to his bases, and Gerald has no idea how greedy KeeN has been. Has no idea that there is a 3rd CC behind this, and it's going to be a 3 CC into 3-1-1 setup as the 3rd Rax is finishing. So basically what's happening here is that we're skipping, or we're delaying tank production, we're rushing into stim. If this was 4-gate blink, then KeeN would be in trouble. 100%. KeeN would be in a lot of trouble against 4-gate blink Stalkers, as he skipped his bunkers, he didn't scout anything, he skipped his tank production, he went for a 3rd TC. Like, there's, like again, so much vulnerability here for KeeN. But Gerald did opt to go for a more tech-heavy style instead. Went 2-gate blink into Colossus production into a delayed 3rd base. So I have to like KeeN's position here. Again, Gerald, he went for his Bay and his Robo before the 3rd Nexus here. Again, a very safe build out of Gerald. And he's being safe against something he doesn't need to be. Observer goes down. Second Observer comes in. We get eyes on the CC. Now Gerald knows. Now Gerald realizes what's been going on. And I'm not sure Gerald can really do anything about it. Don't think he can really punish. I mean, sure, the Colossus production is a little bit faster. That is true. But we're on a low gateway count. We still have the 3rd base to get up and running. We're moving out with a handful of Stalkers. Remember, it was 2-gate blink. Geralt at least is in position. Does spot the base. He can catch some transferring workers. Speaking of, he's coming in. Gets 1. Gets 2. 2 workers go down. There's no Starport, by the way. There's nothing that can be done. I say no Starport. I mean, Starport is done. No medevacs yet. Medevacs, they just pop out. And KeeN is pushing. Uh-oh. KeeN is pushing back at her. We have a Colossus, we have an Immortal, we have shield batteries, we have an overcharge, we have sentries for force fields as well. Can KeeN break through? He does stem in. Goes to the Immortal, doesn't get it. Looks like we do depower the shield battery at the 3rd base. The mineral line is under fire. Yeah, we cannot break the main army, but we get 11 probe kills. 12. And the Marines, they get the hell out of there. They try to. Not a bad counterattack here by KeeN. His 3rd base was delayed. We'll float over towards a linear base location. You can see the Stalkers coming in to harass once again, but there's nothing here. Not anymore. KeeN is reinforcing. Loss is coming out, so we're going to be able to focus this down, by the way. KeeN does pull back. Gerald has to be careful. Has not he has not repowered that shield battery. The overcharge is not available. We're picking up, going for a drop. Stalker's in position. We do focus down on full medevac. Full medevac goes down. Ay, ay, ay. Massive catch there by Gerald. A big misstep by KeeN. KeeN forced to retreat. Go focusing down on those rocks. He has not spotted the 3rd CC, but he can assume that it has been taken. On the right hand side. And make that assumption. He's up to 3 Colossus. Working towards disruptors momentarily, I imagine, as well. Prism is finishing. Again, reveals the lack of army as Gerald is pushing out, by the way. He's pushing out with everything he has. He has the prisoner reinforced. Disruptors are in production, but they are not with the main army. Not yet. And what do we have to defend? We have a good concave. We have Vikings. No tanks. No Widow Mines. We go for the CC. Well, the CC takes a lot of hits, but it does survive. We're chasing down the army. Good force fields. But the Vikings are going ham. They get one. They get almost two. They get the prison. They get the second Colossus. The Vikings, they get a lot done. There's one Colossus left, and it's barely alive. It's exposed. But KeeN takes a good fight, and he can keep pushing. Behind this is third base getting back up and running. Gerald going for a fourth. Disruptors are amassing, but only one robo. Only one unit at a time. See Gerald sharking around, looking for any stray units. Going for the Vikings. Gets one. Does catch a Viking. Meanwhile, KeeN pushing through. Second disruptor has arrived. Storm is on the way. Storm is not ready. Storm is not ready for this. Over goes off. Doesn't connect. There's one over left. Overcharge is popped. And there's still that one over left. It does go off. Gets 3 Marauders. Very nice Nova. 3 Marauders go down. Vikings going ham. And do they catch the final Colossus? They do not. Barely does escape. KeeN backs off. Does retreat, getting into Liberator production set. That's a massive amount of Liberators. Oh my god. I do like this. He's making 4 libs at a time. Still in 3 bases. But has a terrifying army. And again, Gerald, he just can't really keep up with this. I mean, I say that he does have Storm and Disruptors. He's got a bit of everything. Never goes up. Ooh, does overshoot. The other does connect though. Decent Storm on the bio. KeeN loading up, jumping towards the main. Oh, Gerald's out of position. He misses the army. He completely misses the army, and KeeN, he takes control of the main base. He sieges up on top of the ramp, and recall was just used. Recall was spent earlier on the Colossus. And these liberation zones going ham. Vikings have to land. We are breaking through though. Oh my god, that was a big part of the army that was not a part of the fight here for KeeN. But where is reinforcements? They're here on the right hand side. They bust into the third. 19 probes go down. We shut down the forge. Liberation has arrived. The freedom party. A lot of shots going off on the Gateway army though. Nova is denied, and yeah, the Marauders, they still on board. They focus down the Disruptors one after the other. And it looks like KeeN has too much. Gerald trying to keep up, but again, even though this army is so heavily overstimmed, again, we've been making Liberators, not Medevacs. So we're cleaning this up. But Gerald, he's taken a game-ending amount of damage. 22 probes fell. He did double expand though. He's got a 4th and a 5th. For now, because here comes KeeN. Here comes KeeN with some more freedom. The freedom is here. Oh, where can the probes go? They're stuck. They're trapped. Where can we go? Trying to mine through, but yeah, the army. Oh, we do mine through. Let's go. Very quick moves there out of Gerald. Quick thinking. Quick thinking. Does escape with what he has. With whatever he can. The High Templar, they need more time. They go for feedback, so with no storms. No storms available. KeeN taking his 3rd base, landing it as his 4th. Yeah, as this was a 3-base all-in from KeeN. He's able to maintain himself. Getting on top of the 4th base, denying any kind of mining here. Good target firing on the Archons. And Gerald, he's barely surviving, but he has been broken. Get a little bit too greedy. Especially upon seeing now that, again, KeeN had no intention of making a 4th base. Just on 7 Raxes. Nova goes off, grazes the army, but GG gets called. It's just too much to handle, and KeeN will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to KeeN as he does manage to break through. He does overwhelm Gerald. That was a close game though, again, very back and forth. Gerald was keeping up, but again, at a certain moment there, KeeN was able to just pull him apart. And even though he didn't necessarily like kill Gerald then and there, he was pulling him apart, creating an opening over on the other side of the map. Did create that opening and did snowball out of control. GG, well played. Congratulations here. Congratulations to KeeN as he does advance on to the grand finals, and we are getting ready for our next series for the upper semi-finals. Let's go. I just need a moment to set things up.